If you suspect your partner's cheating on you, don't try to get the truth out of them by asking questions. You're asking a question of someone who cheats and lies and who has been cheating and lying to you. When I found out my ex was cheating, I asked them if they would swear on their children. And of course they did. And that was the easiest out, because the cheater isn't dealing in the truth. So it's easy for them to cheat and to lie about that. I think the truth comes from paying attention to the person's actions and from questions like the one that I learned from the book Never Be Lied to Again by David Lieberman, where if somebody says they were somewhere, you can say something like, oh, I heard there was a fire there, or I heard there was a fire alarm that went off at that time. And you're kind of making up this scenario, and you see how they react. Because if they were really there and there was a fire alarm, they would say, yeah, there was a fire alarm, this is what happened. If they were there and there wasn't a fire alarm, they would say, no, I was there, but there wasn't a fire alarm. But if they weren't there, they would have to think about what their answer would be for a while. I also used another version of this question by when I knew that my ex was cheating. I said, my friend saw you with a woman. And I just left it at that. They admitted to being with two different women. One of them they called their mentor, who a few days later sent my ex a text message, a picture of her in a low-cut bathing suit. Like, I don't know about you, but I've never had a mentor that sends me a picture of him in his Speedo. And so it just gave me more information that I already had. And the biggest answers that you will get are going to come from how you feel. Won't come from them. The biggest answers that you can get won't come from them anyway. The most important answers that you get won't come from someone that you suspect is cheating anyway. It'll come from you. If you pay attention to the way that you're feeling. And if you have feelings, if you don't trust this person and they're cheating, just consider that you don't trust this person and you don't know whether they're cheating or not. But there's something about you that isn't trusting this person. And so you want to take a look at yourself. Is that feeling coming from you because of the past and you don't really trust anybody? Or is it coming from the person? They've been doing things that are shady, to you anyway, that register to you as shady. And you have to look at your side of the equation of why would you want to be with someone who you have these feelings about, and these feelings, and you just can't shake these feelings. I was seeing somebody, and I just had this feeling when he told me that he went to movies and concerts that it just felt weird. And we had said that we were exclusive, but when I asked him about who he was going with, he said he was going with a friend. And I asked him a little bit more. I knew that the friend was a woman, and I asked him where he had met her. And he said on the dating site, and they had gone out a few times, but just considered them as a friend. But as we talked a little bit more, they didn't consider him a friend. He considered them a friend, but they probably were thinking of him as more than just a friend. And he probably didn't come right out and say, there's no hope for us ever. I just think of you as a friend. And he was paying for the dates because he felt sorry for these women. And so he was getting some type of validation. All of that, I could feel that when he told me that he was going out with these friends. So what I learned is to trust in my feelings is to focus on my feelings and ask myself, what's going on here? Is it coming from the past? Is this something I need to resolve and complete before I move on so that I can move on without all that baggage? Or is the feeling actually coming from my reaction to what the person is doing or saying? And my cheating ex would gaslight me, and it made me doubt my own feelings because he was so deceptive. And what I learned is that I'll always now honor how I feel. What about you? How do you handle those feelings that you have about somebody?